Hi everyone, welcome to Torah on Demand. I'm Rabbi Yael Ridberg. If we are fortunate to share our lives with people who live into their 80s and 90s, when they die, we who are left to mourn can surely celebrate the blessing of their fully lived life. This week's parasha of Chayei Sarah echoes this sentiment. In the opening verse, the text speaks of both the life and the death of Sarah. Sarah's lifetime, the span of Sarah's life, came to 100 years and 20 years and 7 years. Sarah died in Kiryat Arba. The repetition of the word years isn't necessary, of course, but Rashi, the great 11th century commentator from France, indicates that the repetition signifies that the years of Sarah were all equally good. How is this possible? We know that Sarah spent nearly 90 years childless, impacting her relationship with Abraham. She also had to pretend to be his sister twice, and her later decision to enlist her maidservant Hagar as her surrogate was fraught with emotional highs and lows. The death of Sarah is narrated directly on the heels of the Akedah, the binding of Isaac. And there are several rabbinic interpretations that point to the fact that Isaac had all been but slaughtered. And it was such a small thing that separated him from death. Kim'at shelo nishchat, the rabbis say, he was almost but slaughtered. Sarah clearly died of a broken heart, and in the words of Aviva Zornberg, she died from the truth that it is only a hair's breadth that separates death from life. In his grief, Abraham must find a proper burial site for Sarah. Ephron the Hittite offers the cave of Machpelah to him as a gift, but Abraham is determined to buy the plot himself and to bury his beloved wife there. The Jewish laws of death and mourning all fall under this category of chesed shel emet, true and abiding kindness, and Abraham's commitment to buy a plot and bury his wife models the obligation to honor her life, including all of the challenges of her 127 years. Not long after, Abraham seeks a wife for Isaac. We've not heard about Isaac since his near sacrifice, and while we don't know about its impact on his relationship with Abraham, we can imagine that with Sarah's death, the likely absence and the likely distance of that relationship is felt even more powerfully. Abraham was responsible to help fulfill the divine promise, and by finding someone for Isaac to love and to be loved by, it would be a comfort to them both. When we remember those we have loved and lost, how do we choose to live on in their absence? Shabbat Shalom. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.